Why crying is a biological reset. Welcome to my channel, Habit Compass. You know that feeling, right? That overwhelming wave of relief you get after a really good cry? For so long, society has kind of painted crying as this moment of emotional weakness, or like a total breakdown. But the reality, it's incredibly different, and honestly, far more fascinating. In this video, we're going to dig into the hard science behind our tears. As you'll see, crying is absolutely not a failure of emotional control. It's actually this highly sophisticated, built-in biological function that's perfectly designed to keep us balanced.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with a question that completely changes how we look at this. Did you know your tears actually carry stress hormones right out of your body? Just let that sink in for a second. We almost always think of tears as, well, just water. Maybe a little salty, right? Something triggered by a sad movie or, stubbing your toe. But when we're talking about stress, tears literally become a vehicle for the physical removal of chemicals. It's this wild biological mystery happening right on our own faces. When you start to feel that tightness in your chest or that giant lump in your throat, your body is actually gearing up for a major cleanup operation. To really wrap our heads around this, I want you to imagine the physical burden of stress as this heavy, dark cloud of dense scribble lines just hovering right over you, constantly pressing down. And going along with that cloud is a literal coil winding tighter and tighter around your torso with every single passing hour of a rough day. I mean, that is exactly what stress feels like, isn't it? It's restrictive. It's so heavy. But here's the thing, your body isn't just imagining that pressure. It is literally swimming in a massive buildup of stress response chemicals that are creating that exact physical sensation of being trapped and wound up tight.
Now, here is the major aha moment of the whole process. Actually, scratch that. It's a real game changer. Not all tears are created equal. On one hand, we have lubricant tears. These are those basic reflex tears you get from peeling a really strong onion or walking into a gust of dusty wind. They're mostly just water, there to protect the eye. Simple enough. But on the other hand, we have emotional tears, and these are fundamentally different on a microscopic chemical level. They aren't just water. They are a highly complex biological substance that your body specifically manufactures in response to intense emotional pressure.
So, what is it that makes those emotional tears so totally different? Well, the answer is cortisol. Cortisol is a primary stress hormone. When you're going through times of intense overwhelm, anxiety, or deep sadness, cortisol builds up incredibly heavily in your system. It's the exact chemical culprit causing that tight coil feeling we were just talking about. When your body finally realizes, whoa, there is way too much of this stress hormone circulating right now, it desperately needs an exit strategy. And incredibly, emotional tears are packed full of this specific biochemical residue.
Let's walk through how this actually plays out in a literal biological journey. We can call it the chemical detox. Step 1, stress builds up, and that heavy cortisol floods your system. Step 2, as you hit your emotional threshold, tears form in your glands. But here's the cool part. They act like microscopic sponges, literally capturing that excess cortisol. And then, step 3, as the tears roll down your cheeks, that biochemical residue is physically expelled from your body. Your body is literally using crying as a built-in release valve to flush out the heavy, toxic buildup of stress that was trapping you. No way, right? It's amazing. And this brilliantly illustrates the core equation of the entire process. Emotional tears equal chemical release. Think back to that heavy cloud of stress and those dense scribble lines we imagined hanging over you. As the tears fall and the cortisol literally exits your physical form, that cloud actually begins to shrink. The scribbles just sort of dissolve. It's not just some psychological trick where you quote-unquote feel better simply because you let your feelings out. You are actively, chemically altering the state of your body with every single tear that falls. Which brings us to the physiological aftermath. The biological reset. Once that chemical release finally happens, that invisible restrictive coil around your torso, it just snaps. It falls right away. Because the cortisol levels have dropped so significantly, all that physical tension drops right along with it. And the result? Your body literally feels lighter. You probably notice you stand a little taller, your breathing gets way deeper, and this wonderfully settled, calm state returns to your nervous system. You've officially successfully completed the detox cycle.
So, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. How will you view your next biological reset? The next time you feel those tears welling up, instead of fighting them back or feeling embarrassed about it, just remember that your body is simply trying to snap that coil and clear the cloud away. Let the detox happen. If you learned something new, subscribe to the channel for building better habits through navigating Compass, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.